with departments of anterior abdominal wall, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine till here, till page 187. From 70, 170. From here till here. And one diagram you need to draw next time, that is this diagram, that is anterior abdominal wall, topography of anterior abdominal wall. Look here. That is, here it is anterior abdominal wall, that is spina iliaca anterior superior, that is pubic symphysis. Pubic symphysis, here it is legs. Thigh, that is sternum, here it is sternum, that is, what is the name of last rib? Last rib, which directly attached to the sternum. What is the number? Seventh, yes, you're right. It is seventh rib. Eighth rib attached to seventh. Ninth attached to eighth. And tenth attached to ninth. Last two ribs, what are
Floating
they?
ribs.
Floating ribs. Eighth, ninth, and tenth. And now, first horizontal line we draw at the level of 10th ribs. Here and here is joined together 10th ribs. And another horizontal line joined together superior anterior iliac spine. That is umbilical ring. And two vertical lines we will draw laterally from rectus abdominal muscle. Here and here. Laterally from rectus abdominal muscle. And we receive how many regions on anterior abdominal wall? 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. First and third, these two regions under the ribs, under the costal arch. That is hypochondric region. Right and left hypochondric region. And in middle part, that is epigastric region, regio epigastrica. Here, regio hypochondrica dextrum et sinistrum, and epigastric region. Now, in middle part of abdominal wall, two lateral parts, number 4 and number 6. They are lateral abdominal regions, right and left. Regio abdominalis lateralis dextrum and regio abdominalis lateralis sinistrum. And fifth region, that is umbilical region, regio umbilicalis, umbilical region. And in lower part of anterior abdominal wall, in middle part, that is pubic region, above of pubic symphysis, and laterally 7 and 9, that is inguinal regions, regio inguinalis, dextrum and sinistrum. And when you will explain inner organs, necessary to answer topography, projection of inner organs to anterior abdominal wall, it has name golotopia, projection to anterior abdominal wall. For example, next time you will answer stomach. Stomach. It is. Most part of stomach in which region, who remember? That is epigastric region. Small part of stomach is in right hypochondric region. And if stomach is full with the food, after you receive food, in this case, greater cavity of the stomach descend into umbilical region. That is golotopia of stomach, projection to anterior abdominal wall. Clear? Next. Stomach continues into what? Into duodenum. Superior part, then descendants, then horizontal part, and then ascendance part. That is why duodenum, projection of duodenum in epigastric and where? In umbilical region. Then duodenum continues into jejunum continues into ileum, and ileum insert into the cecum. Here it is appendix vermiformis. And jejunum and ileum, most part of them in umbilical and in pubic regions. And cecum is in right inguinal region. Clear it is. then ascendens colon in lateral abdominal region, then transverse colon, then descendens colon, then sigmoid colon, and rectum, That is projection on anterior abdominal wall. Not necessary to draw these inner organs, just you need to draw topography of anterior abdominal wall. 9 regions on anterior abdominal wall you need to answer next time. Clear it is? This diagram you need to draw. Next, stomach. You already know that stomach has which opening? Cardiac, ostium cardiacum. What is the level of this opening? T11. 11 thoracic vertebra. And anteriorly, it corresponds to the cartilage of the 7th left rib, is opposite to cardiac opening. And posteriorly, 11th thoracic vertebra. Next opening of stomach, that is pyloric, ostium pyloricum, pyloric opening. And pyloric opening is at the level of L1, first lumbar vertebra, and it corresponds to the cartilage of the 8th right rib. Then fundus of stomach, that is upper part of stomach, which is above of cardiac opening. This is fundus. It goes to 5th intercostal space, in mid-clavicular line, linea media clavicularis on the left side. Now, departments. Cardiac opening and nearest part, this part, near of cardiac opening. That is cardiac part of the stomach. Here it is pyloric opening, and this part of the stomach, that is pyloric part, pars pylorica. I already said that upper part of stomach, that is fundus of stomach, and all another, this is body, corpus gastric. Gaster, that is Latin name, and another name is ventriculus. Gaster or ventriculus, that is stomach in Latin. Now, stomach has anterior wall and posterior wall, 2 walls. It has lesser curvature and greater curvature of the stomach, curvatura ventriculi minor and curvatura ventriculi major, lesser and greater curvature. In lesser curvature, that is place where pyloric part joined with the body of stomach, that is notch, incisura angularis. Notch, an angular notch. Now, stomach, wall of the stomach has 3 codes. Who remember which codes do you know in esophagus? External code, that is what? Adventitia in cervical and thoracic department, but in abdominal department, external code peritoneum. Stomach the same supplies with peritoneum, and stomach has intraperitoneal position. What is it? From all sides. Peritoneum supplies stomach anteriorly and posteriorly, intraperitoneal position, and it has some ligaments. For example, here it is liver. Between liver and stomach, we have hepatogastric ligament. Between stomach and spleen, we have gastrosplenic ligament. And between stomach and transverse colon, here it is, we have gastrocolic ligament. That is ligaments of peritoneum between inner organs and stomach. That is external code, peritoneum, serous code. Next, muscular code. Muscular code in esophagus, how many layers it has?
2.
External longitudinal and inner layer circular. In stomach, 3 layers in muscular code. External longitudinal, like in esophagus, middle layer circular, and inner layer oblique layer. From cardiac opening, oblique fibers goes to greater curvature and help to mixed food in stomach. 3 layers. And inner coat is what? In the
Mucus.
mucus. And mucous membrane in stomach has submucous layer. It makes a lot of folds, and mucous membrane has glands, gastric glands, pylori glands, cardiac glands, and glands of the stomach has two types of cells. They are chief cells and parietal cells. Chief cells produce pepsinogen, and parietal cells produce hydrochloric acid. Some words I already explained: skeletotopia, projection to bones. We discuss golotopia, projection to anterior abdominal wall, and synthopia. Above of stomach and on the right side we have liver. Above of stomach and on the left side we have spleen. Inferiorly from stomach, transverse colon. In front, anteriorly, anterior abdominal wall, and behind, posteriorly from stomach, we have left kidney with adrenal gland, pancreas, the same behind the stomach, and parietal layer of peritoneum. That is topography of stomach. Now, duodenum, small intestine. Stomach continues into small intestine, and small intestine subdivides into three departments. First department of small intestine, that is what? Help me. Duodenum. Next, jejunum, and last, ileum. That is duodenum. Duodenum consists of four parts: superior part, descendens part, horizontal, and ascendens. And ascendens part then continues into jejunum. Jejunum then continues into ileum. And ileum opens into large intestine, and first department of large intestine, that is cecum. And then colon. We continue in a minute. Duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. That is jejunum and ileum. There is no clear border between jejunum and ileum. Impossible to say that here or here or here. Where is the border? They looks the same, but main common feature for them, that is presence of mesentery. What is mesentery? Look here. If it is small intestine, and that is parietal peritoneum, and parietal peritoneum goes to inner organ and surround it from all sides and goes back to abdominal wall. And these two layers, this and this layer of peritoneum between abdominal wall and inner organ, that is mesenterium. Between two layers of mesenterium here, vessels and nerves come to intestine and supplies it. Clear? Look here, duodenum, it has extra peritoneal position. Do you remember what is extra? Only one side of duodenum, only one side, anteriorly. Duodenum supplies with peritoneum. It haven't got mesentery. But jejunum and ileum, they have mesenterium. That is why together jejunum and ileum combine in one name. Mesenterial part of small intestine, intestinum tenue mesenteriale. What is the differences? Look here. For example, my pen, it is small intestine. If it is duodenum, and this page, that is peritoneum. That is duodenum, here peritoneum. And peritoneum is only in front of duodenum. Impossible to take duodenum and move it, change position, because it's fixed with peritoneum. But if my pen is jejunum or ileum, look here, what is the differences? Just a moment. Look here. If my pen is jejunum or ileum, here parietal layer, and these two layers, double layer of peritoneum, that is mesenterium. And in this case, I can change position of this intestine clear. I can move it. That is why jejunum and ileum together combined at name intestinum tenue mesenteriale, mesenterial part of small intestine, because they have mesentery here and here and here, everywhere. Mesentery is present. And duodenum has flexura superior, that is place where superior part continues into descendants. This is flexura inferior duodeni, where duodenum continues to horizontal part, and this place, that is flexura duodena jejunalis, that is place where duodenum continues into jejunum. And you need to know topography. You already know where is pyloric opening, that is level of L1, then superior part at the level of L1, descendants part goes to the level of L3, horizontal the same at the level of L3, and ascendance goes upward to the level of L2. Now, synthepia. Above of superior part we have liver together with gallbladder. Posteriorly behind of descendants part, here it is right kidney and adrenal gland. Medially duodenum fused with a head of what? What is this organ?
Pancreas.
Yes, behind it fused with the pancreas, with the head of pancreas. In front from duodenum we have transverse colon, that is large intestine, which passes in front of duodenum, that is transverse colon in front. Then in horizontal part, anteriorly in front from horizontal part of duodenum, we have superior mesenteric artery and superior mesenteric vein, and behind, posteriorly from horizontal part, we have aorta and inferior vena cava. They are behind of duodenum. That is synthepia, how inner organs attach to duodenum. And what else? Superior part, it starts from stomach, and this short part in the beginning of duodenum has name ampule, ampulla duodeni, or another name bulb, bulbus duodeni. Bulb or ampule, it has short longitudinal folds, and first circular fold, that is border where bulb is finished. It starts from pyloric opening and finish at the level of first circular folds, that is bulbus duodeni or ampule. And ampule, the same like stomach, has intraperitoneal position. All another departments of duodenum has extraperitoneal position. Everywhere in small intestine, everywhere in all departments of small intestine, we have circular folds of mucous membrane everywhere, except again, in small intestine we have circular folds of mucous membrane except bulbus or ampule, and descendants part. In descendants part of duodenum we have one longitudinal fold. It has the same name, plica longitudinalis duodeni. And this fold has greater papilla duodeni major, where two ducts opens. They are pancreatic duct and common bile duct, ductus haledachus. These two ducts joined together makes ampule, ampulla hepatopancreatica, and it opens into the duodenum in greater papilla duodeni major. That is why through this papilla, bile and pancreatic juice comes to duodenum. Another papilla, it is lesser papilla, it is above or proximally, and it it is place where accessory pancreatic duct, ductus pancreaticus accessorius, opens into the duodenum. We have two papillae, lesser and greater. Lesser papilla, that is accessory duct, and greater papilla, common bile and pancreatic ducts. Now, I already said that there is no clear border between jejunum and ileum, but, oh, in a minute, can you move this? Okay, this is small intestine, and it is next time we put corp here in our classroom, and you will see more better small and large intestine in corp. But today. This is small intestine, and it is mesenterial part, because here is mesentery, that is part of mesentery. It is small part of mesentery. Next time you will see that mesenterium is large structure, but it should continue here, mesentery, but it is only small part of mesentery where it's attached to small intestine. That is mesenterial part of small intestine. And I cannot answer is it jejunum or ileum, because they look the same. But if we take microscope and under the microscope try to see mucous membrane of this intestine, we can find differences. What is it? Today you already know lymphoid tissue in nasal cavity, in nasal part of pharynx and in oral cavity. What is it? What is the name of lymphoid tissue in nasopharynx and in oral cavity? Tonsils. How many tonsils? Six tonsils. That is lymphoid tissue. And main function, that is protection from what? Infection. From infection. But infection continues into digestive tract. Tonsils participate in protection, but microorganism comes to digestive tract through oral cavity and pharynx and esophagus and goes to stomach and goes to large intestine and small intestine. That is why in all digestive tract, everywhere, in stomach, in esophagus, in large, in small, everywhere, we have lymphoid follicles or lymphoid nodules, small places where lymphoid tissue take place. They are noduli lymphoidei solitari lymphoid follicles or nodules, everywhere, in small intestine and in large intestine, everywhere we have lymphoid tissue. That is protection from infection. But in ileum, only here, these lymphoid follicles or nodules combine together and makes aggregates follicles or pairs patches, folliculi or noduli lymphoidei aggregates follicles or pairs patches. They present only in ileum. In jejunum, in duodenum, in large intestine, they are absent. That is why, under the microscope, if we found in this intestine pairs patches, we can answer that it is what? Ileum. If we not found pairs patches, that is jejunum. It is main differences between jejunum and ileum. Presence or absence of pairs patches, aggregates, lymphoid follicles. Now, large intestine. In Latin, it is intestinum crassum. Maybe I forgot to tell you small intestine in Latin. Intestinum tenue, or Greek name is enteron. That is small, and large intestine, intestinum crassum. And large intestine consists of 4 parts. First, that is cecum in Latin, cecum. And cecum has appendix, help me, vermiformis, acute appendicitis. Do you know what is it? That is inflammation of this appendix. Blind process from cecum. That is appendix vermiformis. That is first department, cecum together with appendix vermiformis. Next department, that is colon. That is a colon. In a minute, I explain departments of colon, but now we finish with large intestine. First, cecum. Second department, colon. Colon continues into rectum, that is third part of large intestine, and rectum continues into canalis annalis, that is last, fourth part of large intestine, which finishes with anus. 4 departments: cecum with appendix, colon, rectum, and anal canal, canalis annalis. And colon consists of ascendens colon, transverse colon, descendens colon, and sigmoid colon. 4 departments in colon: ascendens, transverse, descendens, and sigmoid. That is colon. What about how peritoneum supplies these departments? Cecum and appendix vermiformis has intraperitoneal position. And appendix has mesentery, mesoappendix, that is mesentery of appendix vermiformis. Cecum have not got mesentery. Then ascendens colon and descendens colon. They have mesoperitoneal. What is mesoperitoneal? If organ supplies from 3 sides, anteriorly and laterally. Posterior side not supplies with peritoneum. That is mesoperitoneal position in ascendens and descendens colon. Transverse colon and sigmoid colon has intraperitoneal position, and they have mesentery. In transverse colon it is mesocolon transversum. In sigmoid colon that is mesocolon sigmoidum or mesosigma. And rectum in upper part. Rectum supplies from all sides intraperitoneal position, and here it is we have mesentery, that is mesorectum. Middle part mesoperitoneal position, and lower part extraperitoneal position. Lower part of rectum extraperitoneal position. Differences between small and large intestine. First of all, in large intestine, longitudinal layer of muscles is not complete. It makes 3 bundles. This bundles has name tenia coli, tenia, that is longitudinal muscles on the surface of large intestine. This is free tenia, tenia libera. Here it is tenia mesocolica and tenia ommentalis and tenia ommentalis. These 3 tenia, that they are longitudinal muscles on external surface of large intestine, and all of them join together in one point at the base of appendix vermiformis. Between these 3 tenia, large intestine makes circulation, that is haustra coli, that is enlargement of large intestine between tenia coli. Haustra coli, that is second differences, and large intestine, peritoneum on the surface of large intestine makes processes which contain fat inside. Fat contain processes. They are appendices epiploids, epiploic appendix with fat. In small intestine, there is no appendix epiploic. Epiploic appendix is absent in small intestine, but in large intestine we can see them. That is why it is also differences between small and large intestine. Another difference is circular folds in small and semilunar folds in large intestine. In small intestine, we have talar submucosa, submucous layer. In large intestine, it is absent. Villi intestinalis in small intestine present, in large intestine absent. Alkaline medium in small intestine and acidic medium in large intestine. Differences in functions. I think that is all. That is all. Yeah, that is large intestine, and we can see appendices here. Appendices, epiploids. Epiploid, that is fat-contained processes on the surface of large intestine. Here and here, this yellow structure, that is fat inside of peritoneum. This is small intestine without, it is smooth surface. There is no appendices, epiploids in small intestine. What is it? What is it? That is esophagus, because here longitudinal folds, and esophagus opens into what?
Stomach.
Into the stomach. That is the stomach. It is. This is cardiac opening. That is fundus of stomach. Here pyloric opening, and from here duodenum start. That is beginning of duodenum. Lesser curvature, greater curvature of the stomach. It is the same stomach. That is also stomach. That is here. Here should be a place where esophagus, this way. This should be esophagus here, in cardiac opening, fundus of stomach, greater curvature, lesser curvature. Here it is notch, incisura angularis. Here it is pyloric part. Here pyloric sphincter and valvula pyloric, and that is beginning of duodenum. All another next time I show you at corp.